What's up everyone, hope you're all having a great day today. So I uploaded my video on Far From Weak and didn't really expect it to do all that well. I just put it out there thinking that I'd get like 20 views max, considering I just talked shit about a random incel on the internet. But I was proven wrong, as it's now sitting at over 2k views, so thank you guys for the support on it. But as a result of the Tate bros finding my video, they've been dislike bombing it and leaving hilarious comments, which is going to be the main focus for today. That's right, ladies and gents, today we'll be responding to some of the Tate bros that were confident enough to make themselves look like a complete idiot on my video. And why should I delay it any further? Let's get into it. Far From Weak is just far from weak. You can't accept reality, talking trash to our helper, but we don't give a shit what you say as just the vid you talked about. Grow up and you would maybe understand. Okay, so word of advice, dude, learn to use punctuation when you type. It'll go a long way. I also can't help but notice you called him your quote helper. Nothing screams cult-like more than that, to be honest. Also, nothing screams I don't give a shit what you say more than taking your time to leave this comment and spew some bullshit like I can't accept reality when you're completely oblivious to the sexist bullshit that Far From Weak and many other quote self-help channels spew. Okay, a woman can start a family at any time, you agree with that, but you're wrong. Many men get treated like nobodies and are more likely, and yes, a man's life starts at 30 and a woman's starts at 18. Number 2, he uses Kratos and anime. You only just play a lame game while giving statements talking about someone who doesn't. You look and sound like a deadbeat that hates their audience. Number 3, some women already believe that men's brains age in dog years compared to women, meaning that men are behind, like that saying how men are dumb and how women are smarter than men. Ooh, let me guess, you forgot that one, right? No? Where did I ever say I agree that a woman can start a family at any time? They obviously can't while they're children, nor should they in their teen years, only if they're ready in their mid to late 20s or early 30s. I say that age range only because of defects that can happen if you try to procreate when you're older, but that's beside the point. A woman cannot start a family at any given time. There's really only one specific age range they should do it in, and the same goes for men. Not to say it's impossible, it just runs more of a risk. Anyways, I'm getting carried away. Let's continue. Who are the quote many men that get treated like nobodies, because so far I have yet to see them? I also disagree that a man's life properly starts at 30 and a woman's starts at 18, because that's simply not true. Like I said in my initial video, if you truly care about whether you've peaked yet or not, truly shows how fragile your dull mind really is. You also just don't want to admit that my Trepang 2 gameplay is awesome. Jokes aside, you can say whatever you want about me, but I really do appreciate the support people have given me over the past year. Close to 400 isn't much, but it's a lot further than I ever thought I would get, so truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for the support. Anyways, comment. I don't know what this attempt at a gotcha is supposed to be, but it's not what you think it is. Regardless of whether or not women actually believe that, it doesn't change anything. If women believe the majority of them are smarter than men, they can believe that. They're wrong, but neither of us could probably convince them otherwise. And no, it didn't come to mind while I was making that video because I legit didn't know it was even a thing. You're gonna have to try harder than that to get a gotcha on me, man. And if you want good life advice, I suggest you stop listening to this guy because it's clearly affected your brain. Bro, at least trying to help people rather than just hating and judging other people's life choices. Like, focus on yourself, G, but do you. What is this you do you bit at the end there? Like you're trying to be all respectful and shit? That doesn't take away from the core message of your comments, so I don't see the reason to include it. It's all like, yeah, I'm gonna call you out, but I'm still gonna be respectful about it though. Like, what the fuck? I get he's trying to help people, but him and Andrew Tate and everyone else like them are doing it in the most vile, most dangerous, and predatory way imaginable. That's why I feel comfortable calling him out, because he's trying to poison the minds of young, impressionable men who think that the reason they're being held back or whatever is because of women, so they develop this toxic and dangerous mindset because of it. It's far from self-improvement, it's just straight up manipulation. That's honestly why I don't fuck with any of these quote self-improvement guys, because they're just so full of horse shit. And for the record, I am focusing on myself. I've stated before that YouTube is not a career for me. I have a regular job and I've been working hard to make my life better for the long term. And my personal life is something I just don't want to share online.
That is why you have 365 subscribers talking shit about our movement. And try to do something with your life than talking smack. And try following this advice. Maybe you will stop being miserable.
Okay, dude, calm down. I don't know who pissed in your cereal this morning, but god damn, dude. I'm just a dude online talking shit about another dude online. It's not that serious. I'd argue the reason I only have 365 subs is because I don't upload very consistently. I just can't commit to a designated schedule to make content, so I can't just pump out videos constantly. That's why my sub count is so low. Also, where in that video did I say I was miserable? While I may be a little stressed because of the holiday season, as everyone usually is, I'm not miserable with where I'm at in my life. I'm actually quite content. Sure, I've got some changes to make, like everyone does, but I'm actively working to make those changes. Don't be so quick to judge someone's life just because they called out someone you like, bro. And like I said about the first guy earlier, the fact you took the time to write this comment on my video shows me how miserable you really are. Your arguments against him are pretty weak and come across as a whiny baby, whether right or wrong or indifferent. I talked to women before and they say life is hard for them. Life is hard because they told me so. Yeah, okay, dude, LeMayo. So firstly, you say my arguments are weak, which is fine, I guess, if you think that, but if you're gonna tell me, at least give me reasons why. You didn't even present a single counter-argument to any of mine. And it's not necessarily that because I talked to a woman I learned that they have harder lives than men, it's because my eyes were open to what exactly women go through on a daily basis. And the sheer amount of things that happen to women every day, i.e. SA, R-word, catcalling, and a bunch of nasty shit that men do to them that don't get taken very seriously or brushed off like it's just not important. It's even worse for them in other countries as well, not just here in the US. It's pretty clear you've never talked to a woman either, or else you know just how serious this stuff is, and maybe you'd treat them with a little bit more respect. You said that women have hard times or something like that, but I don't think you can compare a man and a woman in their struggles because it all depends on the person. But I still feel like that man have always in history have to be strong and show no feelings, and that women are just too sensitive. So let's put it like this. Next time if there is a war, we just send the women to fight and we'll see how that goes. I'm not saying women can't fight, I'm just saying men have always been fighters in the history of humankind. You're close. You can't compare a man and a woman's societal struggles because they're vastly different. What you can compare, however, is their struggles when it comes to finances, work, etc. And you're right, men have always had this expectation to be strong emotionally and physically, and they can't show any emotion, whereas if a woman cries over literally anything, they're considered too sensitive. But I'd like to think over recent years, we've seen some changes in that people are allowed to express their emotions and not get shat on for it. As for the last part of your comment, that is exactly what you're saying. I really don't know what else you could mean by, quote, let's send all the women to war and see how that goes. You do realize there's women in the military and actively fighting against the enemies right now, don't you? They're fighting along the same men who have the same goal, to protect their country. So don't say women can be fighters when you contradicted yourself in the sentence before. You started out just making a video to trash Far From Weak, but actually used more of his video than yours. Hashtag we are far from weak. I don't know how you came to that conclusion. I'd say my gameplay footage and his cringe are just about equal. I wouldn't say his video takes up the majority of mine, otherwise it may as well just be a re-upload. I don't even know what you're trying to claim because it's just factually wrong. If you've actually watched the video, you would know that. Nice hashtag, by the way. You made yourself look even more stupid than you already did with your brain-dead comment. This is what I expected from a guy who has less than 400 subscribers. So you expected me to have basic respect for women? Again, I don't know how my sub count matters. Like I said earlier, I can't commit to a designated upload schedule, so I just upload whenever I feel like it. Thankfully, people have stuck around, but not everyone will, and that's fine. Sub count doesn't have anything to do with the quality of a video or someone's viewpoints. If you really care about someone's sub count for their opinion to matter to you, you need to touch some grass. About the Ian Watkins thing, yes, but most men won't just become sex offenders like that. The fact you assume this makes it seem like you hate men, which means you're a radical social justice warrior. Also, when did Far From Weak say anything about age? Did you not watch the video? That's what his entire talking point was about, that men and women hit their primes at different points in their lifetime. That alone just tells me you didn't understand anything about the video. And as for Ian Watkins, I don't assume most men are gonna turn into pedophiles or R-wordists, but you have to understand that we live in a world where men will kidnap, R-word, SA, torture, and even kill women over something as simple as being rejected. I'm not saying all, but most men will do at least one of these things to women, and it's a terrifying reality that we live in. Also, if you really think that was the takeaway from my talking point, then you missed the point completely. The original point was that Far From Weak said that there is always hope for men to succeed, no matter how badly they mess up. And I brought up Ian Watkins as an example just to show that his point is just not true. Like, if you do what that man did, or somehow worse, there is absolutely no redemption for you, and you deserve to be put on the chopping block. And the fact that you think I'm an SJW just for thinking that women need to be safe and men like you don't want to acknowledge this fact is just proof that people like Far From Weak are dangerous. And to make it clear, as one of the least oppressed motherfuckers ever, a man, I don't hate men at all. I just think that more people like you could stand to do a little bit more research and go outside and realize that what you're led to believe isn't all that it's cracked up to be. You're too close to weak. You should start a channel called Near the Weekend. You'll get a lot more of like-minded guys like you on there. Now listen, like I've discussed in past videos, politics are not something I want to put on this channel or anywhere on the internet. I just don't like discussing them, so therefore I'm not going to take you up on this offer, but thank you. And so again, having basic respect for women and treating them like I'd treat my mom is somehow weak. I think you're the weak one for even deciding to leave this comment in the first place. And like I just said, I appreciate the advice, but I'm not going to take it up because, unlike Far From Weak, I'm not interested in developing a cult around my beliefs. So I think I'm good, man. Well, that's about it for the comments I've received. I've gotten a couple more, but I thought I'd spare you all from more cringe. And I guess one final message to the Tate bros is thanks for the free content. Anyways, that's going to do it from me. Oh, also, before I leave, someone left me a comment. I think it was on my Far From Weak video. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been able to find it. But someone left me a comment saying how Far From Weak is actually an underage depressed Discord moderator just pumping this content out, and that there's been a massive investigation to find out who he really is. The video has since been deleted, but there's re-uploads available, and I'll link that down below if you guys want to know more about the truth about this guy. And if the original commenter is watching, dude, shout out to you for letting me know about it. You're a real one. If you guys enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. Don't forget to join the Discord, link down below. But until the next one, I'm out. Thank you guys for watching. Much love. Have a happy new year, and I'll see you in the next one.